green economy. People who can transform Nigeria's food and energy systems with ideas that may look small, but can change entire communities. So as you go through this session, I want you to keep the story at the back of your mind, because throughout this session, you will see how your idea, just like hers, has the power to create impact and shift the future of food systems in Africa. Thank you once again, and welcome to the info session. Now, the Powering Food Systems Innovation Challenge is not just a call for ideas. This program is a structured incubation program designed to help you transform your ideas into practical, impactful solutions that can scale. At the core of this program, we are going to inspire and support young innovators who want to address two of the biggest challenges in Nigeria. And these are the challenge of food insecurity and that of creating sustainable energy. So whether you're an engineer, whether you're a scientist, whether you're a creative, a business student, a farmer, or you're just someone who is passionate about solving real problems, especially for Africa and Nigeria, the greenlabs platform gives you the training, it gives you the mentorship, it gives you the exposure and the accountability that you need to succeed. So you may be asking, what makes this program different? It is because it is hands-on. You're not just here for theories, you are going to work with your hands. It is practical, and it is built to take your idea from prototype, from the raw form to a tested solution. So throughout the greenlabs program, you will develop the mindset, you develop the tools and the discipline to bring your solutions that communities in Nigeria, as well as in Africa, need for real change. The goal is simple. We want to empower you to build something real, something useful, and something that can create lasting impact. Now, I'll talk to you about the organizations that have put this program together. The first is the Consumer Advocacy and Empowerment Foundation. Just like you can see, Consumer Advocacy and Empowerment Foundation is a not-for-profit organization dedicated to the empowerment, protection, emancipation, and enlightenment of consumers in Nigeria. Our purpose is to increase awareness, defend consumer rights through rigorous research and policy analysis on key consumer issues, advocacy, education, and legal representation. Our mission here at CADEF transcends mere advocacy. It embodies a holistic approach, nurturing a community where consumers are not just protected, but empowered with knowledge through an array of educational programs, workshops, and outreach initiatives. So the greenlabs program is one of the ways we extend this commitment. And through the program, we invest in young innovators because you are the ones who will build the solutions that Nigeria needs. You are the ones who will build the solutions that Nigeria needs. You're the ones who will build solutions that support food systems, improve livelihoods, strengthen communities, and move us towards a cleaner, more sustainable economy. And we'll talk about our partner, Jacob's Ladder Africa. Jacob's Ladder Africa believes that by thoroughly equipping and empowering green African workforce, they can create a brighter and more sustainable future for the continent. They establish platforms that enable young people to take advantage of emerging opportunities within the green economy. And this is because Africa's sustainability transition will be driven by its young people. Jacob's Ladder Africa invests in emerging talents by equipping young innovators with the knowledge, with the technical capacity and the leadership skills needed to succeed in the green economy. They work across Africa, connecting young people to opportunities in climate action, sustainable development, green entrepreneurship, and the future of work. And you can now tell that greenlabs is one of the ways, rather, that they bring this mission to life. And together with the Consumer Advocacy and Empowerment Foundation, CADEF, they're creating a space where innovation meets sustainability and real-world impacts. Now, this brings me to the agenda for our session today. Before we get deeper into the session, here's a quick overview of the agenda so you know exactly what to expect and how the conversation will flow. We'll start by looking at the global context. What's happening around the world in energy, in waste, and in the sustainability sectors? Then we'll look at Africa's challenges, especially in food systems and clean energy. Also, we'll look at the opportunity, why young innovators like you are important in solving these challenges. Then we'll look at the greenlabs program structure, what the program offers, what you learn, and how it works. We'll also look at participation requirements, who can apply, how to apply, and how to position yourself better for selection. We'll look at the expectations and the benefits of the program, the support, the resources, and the outcomes for participants. Then we'll open the floor for questions. I know lots of us have questions already. We'll open the floor for questions. So you can drop your questions on the chat page. You can start dropping them even now. And when it's time for the Q&A session, you'll get the chance to ask us anything about the program and the application process. The goal is to make sure that by the end of this session, you have absolute clarity about what this challenge offers and how to better position yourself. Now, let's talk about the global state. Before we go into how to power food systems sustainably, we'll look at the global energy landscape. Because energy is at the heart of everything we grow, everything we produce, and even everything we consume. Looking at the slide on your screen, you'll see that to the left, 83% of the world's energy supply still come from fossil fuels, from coal, from oil, and from gas. What this means is much of our food production, starting from irrigation to fertilizer manufacturing, even to transportation and to storage, rely heavily on non-renewable sources. It is clear that our global food systems are built on an energy foundation that is not sustainable. And you agree with me that it is very not sustainable. As a result, the figure in the middle shows us that 50 gigatons of greenhouse gas emissions are released globally each year. And about 21 gigatons come directly from energy systems. And this includes the energy used in agriculture and food processing. So when we talk about decarbonizing food systems, we are really talking about transforming how energy is produced and used across the value chain. Now, to the right on the screen, we have a stark contrast. 773 million people globally still lack access to electricity, and nearly 1 in 5 of them live in Africa. This energy gap affects not only homes, but our farmlands, agricultural processing activities, as well as cold storage. And this in turn limits productivity and food security. So as we think about powering food systems, I want us to think about this question. How do we transition from fossil fuel dependency to renewable, accessible energy sources that can drive both climate action and food security? That's the challenge. And that is the opportunity that we must address. Now, let's look at our diamonds. We've seen the global challenges, the over-reliance on fossil fuels, rising emissions, and energy poverty. Let's look at the opportunities. And I like to call these the diamonds because they are the hidden treasures that can power a new kind of food system for the future. First, consider solid waste. Every year, the world generates about 2 billion tons of solid waste, and 19 of the 50 largest dump sites are in Africa. 19 of the 50 largest dump sites are in Africa. But within this challenge lies an opportunity. Organic waste can be converted into biogas and compost, and they can in turn be used to power irrigation pumps or cold storage. Remember the story I shared earlier. They can also be used to improve soil fertility. Waste to energy and circular economy models can turn our dump sites into decentralized power stations for agriculture. Secondly, Africa holds immense solar energy potential, about 11 terawatts. That's quite huge. And with abundant sunlight across most of the continent, solar technologies can power everything from smart irrigation to hydroponics to post-harvest processing. Now, imagine this. Imagine rural communities where farmers do not only grow crops, but they can also generate their own clean energy using what they already have. That's what a powered food system looks like. And finally, wind energy. An estimated 110 gigawatts of potential across the continent. While often underexplored, wind can complement solar by providing energy during off-peak sunlight hours, creating hybrid systems that ensure constant power for food production, for storage, as well as for transportation. So, my dear innovators, these are our diamonds: waste, solar, and wind, powerful, renewable, and right beneath our feet. The challenge now is to harness them innovatively to build resilient, low carbon, and inclusive food systems. Now that we've seen that Africa holds incredible diamonds, abundant solar, wind, and waste to energy potential, these resources are not just renewable, they are both accessible and they are waiting to be harnessed. Emphasis on waiting to be harnessed. But here's the paradox. Even with all of this potential energy beneath our feet and above our heads, our continent is still struggling to feed itself. Our continent is still struggling to feed itself. Now, around 723 million people, in Africa face hunger. And nearly 1 in every 5 people, like mentioned earlier, are in our continent. Behind each number is a family. These are not just numbers. It is not just statistics. Behind each number is a family, a community whose potential is being limited by food and energy insecurity. And yet, Africa is home to nearly 60% of the world's uncultivated arable land. So land is not the issue, you agree with me? We have an abundance of that. Land that could transform not just Africa's food systems, but global food security. Despite this enormous agricultural potential, the continent remains a net importer of food. We spend billions every year, if not more than, to bring in what we can produce locally. This contradiction is at the heart of our conversation today. A continent rich in resources, but still facing hunger and energy poverty. So the key question becomes, how do we connect our energy diamonds to our food potential? How do we power food systems that feed our people create jobs, and protect our planet. We've seen that Africa is richly blessed with land, with sunlight, and the highest rates of hunger and food insecurity still persists. The truth is, we cannot solve Africa's food problem without solving its energy problem. And this is because food doesn't just grow on land, it grows on energy. We need energy to power the pumps that brings water to crops. We need energy to power the machines that process our harvests, and the cold chains. We need energy to power them so that they can preserve our food right from the farm, even when they go to the market. And we also need energy to prevent post-harvest loss. So this brings us to the next key question. What does it actually take to power food systems sustainably? Globally, food systems account for nearly 30% of all energy use. The International Renewable Energy Association, IRENA, and the Food and Agricultural Organization of the United Nations, FAO, has said that 30% of our energy use, 30% of the global energy use are tied to food systems. Now, that's one of the largest energy footprints of any sector. Yet, about 70 to 80% of that energy still comes from fossils, making the food industry a high-emission, high-cost mode. In fact, in 2019 alone, the energy used within food systems emitted 5.5 billion metric tons of greenhouse gases. What this means is, while food nourishes us, the way we produce it is also warming the planet, which is not good at all. Now, here's the opportunity. What if we can shift how energy is produced and used across our food value chains? What if we can now take on solar-powered irrigation and biogas processing to wind-powered cold storage, and we can build cleaner, more resilient, and more equitable food systems? So how quickly do we think we can make this transition happen? Because yes, it is possible. Having explored the pressing challenges at the intersection of energy and food systems, we will now turn our attention to what this program aims to achieve. The objectives are designed to guide innovators, to guide every one of you in addressing these challenges across key areas, from sustainable energy in agriculture to innovative bioproducts from agricultural waste. Now, what are the objectives of the greenlabs Incubation Programme? The first is the entrepreneurial mindset. Our goal is to help you build the mindset of one who can overcome adversity and remain unshaken. You might want to ask how you do that. You do that by solving real innovative problems, by addressing real-world challenges, and by collaborating in diverse teams. And through this, you build confidence through each project. Then we'll go to market and consumer centricity. Through the greenlabs program, you will be able to understand who your consumers are in the true sense of the word and know your market. You will do this by conducting research. You will do this by reaching out to your target audience. You would analyze trends. You will get to know your competitors, and you get to find opportunities through all of this. You will also get to test your ideas with users, and you would iterate based on feedback and articulate your value into a viable solution. Now, you see why I mentioned earlier that this program is hands-on. It is not theory. It is very, very practical. So another objective of the greenlabs Incubation Programme is the business model development. This program will enable you to build your business model from scratch, helping you to understand how to define your unique value offered to customers, how to identify and understand the target audience, how to explore income generation models, how to analyze development costs, how to identify essential activities and resources needed for you to scale. Another objective of the Green Labs program is the pitching and investor development. For your idea to see the light in some cases, you will need investors. In most cases, you will need investors. Are you able to pitch in seconds to sell your products? With the support provided during the Green Labs program, you can craft a compelling story for your brand, for your project, shape the pitch, practice your delivery, and understand your audience such that when you're woken up to pitch your project, you can do it without hesitation. Also, the green economy and sustainability is another objective of the Green Labs program. Even if you don't know a thing about the green economy, we've got you covered. You take a course on it that will enable you to get insights even before the innovation challenge. You'll participate in the program, which will teach you to adopt sustainable green practices and develop innovative solutions to promote renewable energy. And then, innovation and design thinking. You'll be able to define the problem. You'll be able to brainstorm with a wide range of creative solutions, and you'll be able to empathize with your users. What this means is the program will help you to deeply understand your users' needs, to deeply understand their emotions and their experiences. You'll be able to put yourself in the shoes of your audience and see the world from their own perspective. Also, structuring and governance. The Green Labs program will enable you to set specific goals for your projects. You will become very accountable during the course of the program. You'll be able to outline the vision of your project, the mission, the strategy. You will know the regulations, the legal considerations regarding your project, and you would also gain hands-on skill in budgeting and accounting systems. Now, let's look at the challenge areas. Before I continue, you can always drop your questions on the chat page. So if you have any questions from the session so far, please go to the chat page and drop them there. Very soon, we'll be having our question and answer session, and all of your questions will be addressed. So let's look at our challenge areas. The first is energy for sustainable agriculture. This area focuses on solutions that provide reliable and clean energy directly to farming activities. Now, I want you to think of solar-powered irrigation. I want you to think of efficient water pumping. I want you to think of electrified farm machinery. By reducing dependence on fossils, we can make agricultural practices more sustainable, we can make them cost-effective, and we can make them resilient to energy shortages. And this is what the Green Labs program stands for. Another challenge area is renewable powered food processing. Now, food processing consumes a significant amount of energy, like we earlier established. And these are often powered by diesel or grid electricity. Now, the goal is to develop technologies that run on renewables, that run on renewable energy, like solar, biomass, or mini hydrogen systems, so that farmers and processors, so that every innovator on this call can add value to their projects, and they can produce sustainably, they can reduce costs, and contribute to lower carbon emissions. Then another challenge area for the Green Labs project, for the Green Labs program rather, is the food distribution and cold chain innovations. Many farmers lose a large portion of their produce due to spoilage. I'm sure you've heard of post-harvest losses. Now, this challenge area encourages solutions that improve storage, improves transportation, improves refrigeration using clean energy. From solar-powered cold rooms, smart logistics systems, this challenge area aims to reduce post-harvest losses and make fresh food more accessible to consumers. Then the last challenge area we'll be looking at is the bioproducts from agricultural waste. Agricultural waste, like we established earlier, are often underutilized. We have them everywhere. We have them almost everywhere, but we can make new things from them. So what this means is turning residues, turning waste like husks, shells, peels, and other farm waste, other solid waste, into valuable products like biofertilizers, bioplastics, bioenergy. And by doing this, we not only create new revenue streams for farmers, but we also promote circular, sustainable food systems. Now, you might be asking, who can participate? Who can participate in the greenlabs program? We are looking for young innovators who are passionate about sustainability, environmental issues, and technology. Now, these young innovators can be of diverse backgrounds, including, but of course, not limited to agriculture, engineering, and environmental sciences, business, and computer science. But remember I said at the initials that if you have an idea to power food systems renewably, to power food systems sustainably, of course, go ahead and apply. And if you have started your application but have not completed it, I would urge you to take a moment to complete your application. If you have not started at all, you are in the right place. Very soon, or you can check the chat box, the registration link, the application link will be sent to the chat box. So feel free to click on it and start and complete your registration. Now, we'll be looking at the participation requirements. Remember that we've talked about who can participate. Now, what are the participation requirements, you may ask? We are looking for innovators between the ages of 20 to 35 years. Are you 20 years? Are you 21, 22, 23, 25, 29, 31, 35? Of course, you are eligible to apply for the greenlabs incubation program. Then we're looking for participants who can make it down to Lagos on the demo day and the graduation day. The duration for the greenlabs program is 3 weeks for the innovation challenge, where you get to refine your projects and pitch, and you're also matched with mentors who would hold your hands and guide you through the preparations towards the pitches. Then also, it is very, very, very important, I cannot overemphasize this, that you have a stable internet connection. It is a necessity because there will be virtual sessions and we wouldn't want you to miss out on these sessions. Before we move on, please go to the chat box. There is a form, there's a Google form link in the chat box. You have to click on it and tell us, just fill the form with your details. Tell us your name, your email address. The form is on the link, so please just take a moment to attend to that. Thank you. Now, you may want to ask, how do I participate? I've heard so much about how the potential of renewable energy in agriculture. I've heard so much about how to come up with viable solutions that can power food systems sustainably. And I am so interested in participating in the greenlabs Innovation Program. How do I participate? You may want to ask. On your screen is the QR code. If you are yet to register, if you are yet to complete your registration, or if you know someone who might be interested, who will be interested in participating in the greenlabs Powering Food Systems Incubation Program, please feel free to bring out your phone, scan the QR code. The link will also be in the chat box. The link should be there by now, so please check and go on the site and turn in your application, or copy the link and send it to the person who you think will be interested. Then you are expected to read the preliminary reading materials. These include the challenge statement. When you click on the link, you'll see the challenge statement, and you also have to take the mini course. Everything is on that site. So please scan the QR code if you have not taken the mini course. If you are yet to read the challenge statement, you can take a moment to do that. And you respond by submitting your application, by completing your application and by submitting it. Thank you. Don't forget to leave your questions in the chat box as we are slowly approaching the Q&A segment of this session. Now, what is the format and the process of the greenlabs program? You may want to ask. So you start, then there's the shortlisted participants will be invited to participate in the challenge. And for those of you that are yet to apply, this is why you have to make a point while applying. You have to put your best foot forward. Then the teams are connected with experienced mentors from diverse backgrounds. And trust me, the mentors are well equipped to hold your hands and to guide you through the session. Moving on, the teams will develop innovative solutions to the Powering Food Systems Challenge. So this is where you generate your idea and you come up with your prototypes. And then all teams will present to the panel of mentors weekly. So we'll have qualifying rounds during the Innovation Challenge. Then teams will pitch, and the teams with the most viable solutions, or the most promising solutions, will move into the incubation program. Finalists from the Innovation Challenge now will present their solutions to judges and guests in a competition, and the finalists, those with the most viable solutions, will be admitted into the incubation program. The incubation program is scheduled to run for 9 months. Now, you may want to ask, what's in it for me? Why should I participate? Participation gives you free entry into the 3-week Powering Food Systems Innovation Challenge to test your ideas, to learn, and to learn. So there'll be a lot of refining. I know right now you might just have the idea, you might not have done anything with it. In the greenlabs program, your ideas will be refined and you will learn a lot on how to better position these ideas and how to better move these ideas from being just ideas into viable solutions. Then the winners get equity-free and debt-free pre-seed capital to kick off their entrepreneurial journey. Also, admission into the greenlabs program, that's the greenlabs incubation program, which is a 9-month entrepreneurship and startup incubator. So I believe by now you can see that the program holds a lot for you. You really should be applying right now. Now, you might want to ask, what are the winning prizes? Okay. The grand prize winner, there are prizes for the grand prize winner, there are prizes for the first runner-up, there are prizes for the second runner-up, sorry, and the audience choice award. What this means is, after the innovation challenge, like I mentioned earlier, you would have refined your ideas by then and you will be allowed to pitch. After the pitch, there will be a grand prize winner. There will also be a first runner-up, a second runner-up, and the audience choice. Now, what is our ask? We ask that you apply. Applications are due on the 30th of November. This is in 10 days from now. So there is no time to hesitate. There is no time to develop cold feet. Click on the link, check the chat page, click on the link, and start submitting your applications today. Then we also ask that you share this opportunity within your networks. I'm sure there are people in your networks who would also want to be a part of this program. Do not deny them of that opportunity. Share the link with them, encourage them to apply, and let's build sustainability together. Then lastly, we ask that you keep up the good work. Don't stop, even after this info session, don't stop. Continue being sustainable leaders everywhere you find yourself. Now, this is the moment I'm sure we've all been waiting for. We're going to be opening the floor for questions, and we'll be answering all of your questions. This is your opportunity to ask all of your questions. I can already see some on the chat page. Please, if you have more questions, feel free, leave them on the chat page, and we'll attend to them. Or you can as well use you can raise your hand to ask your questions. You can raise your hand and I'll grant you the permission to ask your questions. Okay. There are some questions here. So someone is asking, is this open to all Africans or is it restricted to Nigerians only? Now, this is a very, very important question. Like I mentioned earlier, the innovation program, as much as we want to open it to all Africans, it is very, very important that teams are required to participate virtually in the demo day as well as the graduation ceremony after the incubation program. So we are largely calling for applications from Nigeria, and this is because of the restriction that applications from outside of Nigeria might pose. I hope that answers your question. Please feel free to leave more questions in the chat page. Thank you. Oh, there's another question saying, is it restricted to only participants in Lagos? No, it is not. It is not restricted to just participants in Lagos. It is not. It is open to participants within and outside of Lagos states. Thank you. Darius, I can see that your hand is raised. Please unmute and ask your question.
Yeah, thank you. My name is Darius, and I've been joining in from Uganda. So my question is, you said it might be only for Nigerians because of the restrictions. Now, what if I can be able to come to Nigeria, or what if I can be able to come to Nigeria on the graduation day, or what if I can be able to live in Nigeria for the 9-month training. Can I apply then?
Hi, Darius. Thank you very much for that question. Okay. You were saying that you are very interested in the greenlabs program and you don't mind making it down to Nigeria, Lagos State specifically, for the demo day and the incubation program. Yeah?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, if I can be able to travel, I can stay in Nigeria for the time required for me to be in Nigeria. But can I apply because I'm not a Nigerian?
Okay. As much as we want to open the applications to other parts of Africa, like I said, initially, it is only opened to Nigerians for now. And that's because there are several times that you'll be needed to come in, even after the demo day and the graduation. You'll be required to come in at several times, like during the boot camp phase. You'll be needed to come in like 5 times. So that can be very, very tasking coming from out of the country. Don't you think?
Maybe.
Second. Yes, the thing is this, besides the requirements that is necessary for participation during certain phases, we want to make sure there is commitment. So if you're working in a team, will your team be able to fully participate with you here in Nigeria? If the answer is yes, then what I would recommend is you register for the Innovation Challenge. And after the Innovation Challenge, there is a selection process. That one is done physically except for the demo day. I mean, that one is done online except for the demo day. There's a selection process based on certain criteria, which includes your project, your commitment, and all of that. If you're selected after the Innovation Challenge, yes, you can participate. So is your team going to be with you here in Nigeria?
Well, I don't have a team as of now. I'm solo. I'm doing my project on my own. But
Okay.
yeah, I get the answer. Thank you so much.
Yes. So you can go ahead and register for the challenge, and then during the selection process, if you get it and you're actually a solo entrepreneur that does not work with a team, then of course. Thank you.
Thank you. Arnold, I can also see that your hand is raised. Please unmute and ask your question.
All right. Well, my name is Arnold from Malawi. Can you hear me?
Yes, please.
Yeah, the question is, are you going to issue some certificate after this online session? Because we have benefit some knowledge here.
After this online session?
Yes.
Like the one we are currently on?
Yes.
Oh, no, Arnold. We won't be doing that. However, we encourage you to, oh, you said you're not in Nigeria.
Yeah, I'm in Malawi.
Okay. We won't be issuing certificates, but just, you can stay glued. We would have more opportunities to connect and work together in future.
So you give me certificate?
No, I didn't say that. Not after this session. This is an info session. It's an expose for the greenlabs session. For the greenlabs program, rather.
This is an info session. If you get into the greenlabs challenge and you complete the challenge successfully, you'll get a certificate of completion.
All right.
But not for the info session. Yeah.
Okay. I get you.
I can also see, okay, I think he dropped his hand. We'll take more questions from the chat page. Is there a WhatsApp group for participants? Is there a WhatsApp group for participants? Well, we have all participants' data. Upon selection, there would definitely be a WhatsApp group. That's answering Garba Joshua. Thank you. Is it only for Nigerians? I think I have answered this question, but to repeat that, it is open to Nigerians in and around, but not restricted to Lagos State. So it is open to Nigerians, but not restricted to Lagos State for now. And I can also see another question. I was asked about a team, and I do not have a team yet. Okay, we encourage you to apply either in teams or as a solo participant. So if you have a team you would love to work with through the course of the program, of course, bring them on board, apply as a team. But if you do not, you're also encouraged to apply solo. Okay, I can see Timilane's question. So 3 of us in a team must pitch 3 different ideas, or no, Timilane. That's why you're a team. You're working with your team to refine one idea, to work on one project. So you're not pitching, if you're a team of 3, you're not pitching 3 different ideas. You're working together to come up with one solution and not 3 different solutions. Then I can see Ngozi's question. She's asking, is participation different from the first registration? Ngozi, by registration, I think you mean registration for this info session. So now what we are currently on is the greenlabs info session. I would love anybody from the CADEF team to paste the link to the cohort 2 application form just there. So Ngozi, please be on the lookout. You are registered for the info session, and that's why you are on this call. However, the info session is to give you insights and to answer the questions you have as regards the greenlabs cohort 2 incubation program. So when the link is on the, you can check for the link on the chat page here and click on it, then you can start your application into the greenlabs program. So what you have done is you have registered for the info session, but you're encouraged now to click on that link and register for the program itself. Thank you. You can still drop your questions or raise your hands to ask your questions. While we're waiting for more questions, okay. Saleh, yeah, please go ahead.
Good evening. Can you hear me, please?
Yes, please.
Okay. My question here is regarding to this registration. I want to register as a team, and before all this X session and this Zoom session, I have registered a link, one link myself, but I don't know whether they're
Sorry, I'm
different.
struggling to hear you. Sorry to interrupt. I'm struggling to hear you. Can you amplify your voice?
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, this is better.
All right. So my question here is regarding the link for the registration. Is it different from the registration that we did first before these lectures?
Oh, is it different from?
From the registration that we did before, because I have registered before the X session and this Zoom session.
Oh. So you, okay, I think I get it now. You attended the X space last week.
Yes.
And you also registered for the info session. You've done
Yes.
beautifully well, Saleh. But to get into the greenlabs program, you have to register, you have to fill the application form. You have to fill the application form. Can you take us back to the slide that has the QR code so that we are very clear? On the screen, you'll see the QR code that says register. So if you have not applied, if you have applied for the X Space, beautiful, but you have not applied for the greenlabs incubation program yet. If you applied for this info session, beautiful, but you have still not applied for the greenlabs incubation program yet. So you need to apply for the greenlabs incubation program to get into the program. Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you very much.
All right. Garba, please go ahead.
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
So my question is, I applied for the challenge on a Google form, and I applied as a single participant, but right now I want to bring in my team, and I tried opening the form again. It's telling me I can't apply again.
Oh, okay, Garba, well done on your application. Now that you don't want to go solo, I think what you can do is reach out to us with the details of your team. So you can reach out to us. You can reach out to us via mail. Our email address will be on the chat box, so just be on the lookout for it. Or you can, are you in Nigeria?
Yeah, I am.
Yes, you can drop your WhatsApp number and a member of the team will follow up. You can drop your WhatsApp number and your email address. A member of the team will follow up on that. Thank you. So someone says, my team leader already applied. Do I still need to register? Okay, there's an answer to that on the group. Each team member must fill the application form. Each team member must fill the application form. But I understand that you cannot, like Barbara just mentioned, you cannot go back to edit. So please send us a mail. ng.org. On the chat box now, you'd see an email address. You can forward your complaints, you can forward your questions, as well as the details of your team members to us via that email address. Thank you. Ridwan, please go ahead.
Hi, thank you. Good evening, everyone.
Yes, good evening.
My
Good
question
evening.
is, I watched some of the demo for the cohort 1 in YouTube. I watched some of it. So for those of us in the cohort 2, which are interested to bring the implementation of, because the cohort 1 is basically on energy system and renewable energy system, and this cohort 2 is more of food system. So what about some of us that have the idea or the innovation system to use the energy system from the cohort 1? Is there a way that we can reach out to some of the participants in the cohort 1? That's just my question.
Okay.
Hold on, let me get clarity. You want to work with the participants from cohort 1 and use their products, like buy their products. Is that what your question is?
Yes, yes, ma'am. If my innovation requires some of the, if I want to use the renewable energy from the cohort 1, maybe that is where is there a way that I can contact them or we can reach out to them?
Yes, you can contact them. You can send us the information and the the company in cohort 1 that you're interested to reach out to, and we will send you their contact information.
All right.
Yeah, but you cannot copy their cohort 1 work and present it as your own work.
Yes, I know.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
That's one more
The
question.
question from Zambia. We've already answered the question. It is active participation. There are certain parts of the incubation program and the innovation challenge that requires that you're physically present in Nigeria. If you can bring yourself to Nigeria and participate on those physically, then yes, it can be open to you. But there has to be active participation. So what I generally I told you, other people register for the challenge and be present for the demo day. And then we can take it up from there if you're selected for the incubation program. Please note, there has to be a 9-month commitment if you're selected from the innovation challenge. If you're selected, there's a 9-month commitment required to complete the incubation program.
Thank you. Thank you, Prof. I cannot see any more questions, but of course, feel free to reach out to us on the emails provided in the chat box. And very importantly, you are to fill there's a link to a Google form where we want to get your details so we can even follow up on each and every one of you. So please go on the chat page, click on that link and fill the form. For your questions, for inquiries, stay glued to our social media pages. Follow us across all social media platforms. On the screen is the slides containing our social media information. On LinkedIn, we are Consumer Advocacy and Empowerment Foundation, CADEF. On Instagram, we are CADEF NG. On Facebook, we are Consumer Advocacy and Empowerment Foundation. And on X, we are CADEF_NG. So connect with us across all social media platforms. If you have more inquiries or questions that you do not remember now, or you will remember later, feel free to leave us a mail at info@cadefng.org. info@cadefng.org. Most importantly, do not forget to submit and to turn in your application for the innovation program. Remember that it is not enough to register for this info session. We need to take it a step further. Click on the greenlabs cohort 2 application form and sign up and register, submit your application. Thank you so much for joining the info session. I also want you to know that this session has been recorded and it is going to be uploaded on our website, www.cadefng.org, www.cadefng.org. So in case you need to revisit the conversations from today, you'd have it handy. You have it handy, you can always go back and listen again. Then for those of us that have applied, for those of us that have started our applications, and even for those of us that intend to apply just after this info session, it is very, very important that you take the mini course and that you read the challenge statement. Thank you so much, everyone. I want each and every one of us to remember that when we're standing in the middle of acres of diamonds, we just need to see them by seeking and finding them. And also, Africa, like we have established, as the solutions to the world's most pressing challenges. But you are the key to bring these solutions to life. I'll see you again, and I expect to receive your applications, and ultimately to welcome you into the Green Labs Powering Food Systems Innovation Challenge and Incubation Program. Thank you, and do enjoy the rest of your day.